All right, guys, I cannot wait to show you this. We are going to display Pierre, the new painter mage extraordinaire. Unintentional rhyme. We love it. We're going to show him off here in AoE Arena. You guys want a gameplay? I think there's no better way to teach you how he works than in AoE Arena. There are a lot of pieces of content in Watcher of Realms Pierre is going to dominate. This is definitely one of them. A surprise place is going to be Single Target Arena. I'll show that off in a couple days in a special collab video I've got cooking. And then Matrix 1, he is just phenomenal. He is such a great piece of any incredible team. But AoE Arena, without a doubt, is a place for him to shine, and it is a very clean opportunity for us to showcase his prowess and really how the technical side of his kit works. So if you want to know all the ins and outs of his kit, by all means, do yourself a favor and watch this video right here. You'll see the thumbnail on your screen. You can find the link in the description in the top pinned comment. This was a video where I dove deep reviewing Pierre and giving a full kit reveal and breakdown. His kit is one of the most convoluted and confusing kits in the history of Watcher of Realms, so I wanted to make a whole video explaining all of it, because it just needs to be in one place. It's just too much. However, I do have a couple key skills I've taken screenshots of: his ultimate, Master Stroke, his first passive Overlay, and his second passive Perspective. I'll show these off during battle when stuff's happening, just so we can reference it. But please, if you want to know everything and have it all explained as simply as possible, go watch the other video. The purpose of this video, however, is going to be playing with Pierre. That sounds like a euphemism for something. You're gonna go play with your Pierre. Here we are gonna go play with Pierre on the test server. The test server is Pierre, and we are going to take on AoE Arena. You can see my friend Shady has set up a phenomenal AoE Arena defense. I'll show you this right now. We're on the test server for friendly face-off. Shady has this very, very meta, kind of the current meta top dog squad with a juiced up Arbiter comp. A5 Praetus, A5 Valara, A5 Ingrid, A4 Diao Chan, doesn't matter. A3 or higher is what's clutch. And then A1 Draylen, that's what you need. This comp is crazy. It is dominating the game right now. So let's see how Pierre and the Chaos Squad stacks up. Also, you saw that BP. It's like almost 600,000. Basically 595,000, 594,992. Shady is phenomenal at gearing. You know he set a perfect defense. Let's see what we can do. Spoiler alert, I know what's going to happen because I've done a lot of testing here, but you're about to see it all in action. So what I'm running is actually going to be a very heavy Chaos squad led by Gone. Gone has a better strict Lord skill for this content, and we're not really going to get any other use out of him besides the Lord skill. He is in a Wings of Grace set, so we can buff Lubu over here, but the main DPS obviously are going to be Pierre and his Prismarch and the little Prismites he creates. You'll see that in a second. And then Lubu. Lubu recently got a buff. He is even better than he used to be in AoE Arena. He can take out that back line. Him and Pierre, without a doubt, make a great combination. We're running Lubu at A5 along with Diao Chan, Dasami, and Gone. Dasami's here just as a healer. Actually a very good source of inspiration once we get Dasami on the field and his passive can stack up a bit. Only at this point Pierre will be A0. I want to showcase him first at A0 so you can see how well he performs already, and then I want to show him off at A5. You can see I've got that extra copy waiting. This Pierre is in phenomenal gear though, without a doubt. He's in this beautiful cultist ring. We've got a great amulet here. Very, very nice bangle. Nice quad on the weapon. Nice quad on the breastplate. Very cool breastplate. No crit rate needed. I picked up all the other crit rate required in the other pieces substats. You can see he's at 995.5 crit rate. He gets a cultist collection bonus of 3%, so he actually is crit capped. Good crit damage, fantastic attack. It's just a good build. Pretty fast as well. Very happy with it. He has a maxed out exclusive artifact. Let's show him off at A0. Let's see how he stacks up against Shady's Arbiter God Squad, and then let's try him out at A5. For this first battle at A0, yes, I want to focus on his performance, but I also do want to take moments to pause and explain how certain parts of his kit are happening, so you know what you're looking at. So we'll go over the ultimate, we'll go over overlay, and we'll go over perspective. I'm also going to show you a very strange quirk in his kit. His main summon, the primary monster summon, the Prismarch, functions very similarly to Labor, who is summoned by Anora. So if you think of the big dragon summon Anora has, Labor, at the moment in which you deploy Anora, Labor is also going to be summoned, and Labor's bonuses and stats and everything represent a snapshot of Anora at that moment. It's an unfortunate, annoying quirk. It's very similar with the Prismarch and Pierre. One thing you can do, though, is despawn the Prismarch and then respawn it in a moment when Pierre is more boosted by certain buffs and things like that. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's hop into battle, and let's take this crazy Arbiter squad on. I think this team's really going to surprise you guys. So one thing I have to do very quickly, we've got a small bug on the test server right now. Even though my settings are on 1x, it starts on 2x. So let me toggle here and start over. And now let's dial in. So first things first, I'm going to place Pierre here pointed up. And you can see he starts with a full rage bar. And as soon as that triggers from the ultimate, I can pause it and explain now. Let's go to that ultimate. He immediately is going to do an HP drain, and he's going to prepare a Prismarch. So unlike Anora, who, when she is deployed, instantly, automatically is going to summon Labor, it's different with the Prismarch and Pierre. So Pierre gets deployed, and he does have a full rage bar, but he creates the Prismarch. You get to deploy it yourself, and that's a cool part of this kit. So you'll see as soon as we hit there, boom, the ult triggered. We have 3 costs. I can place this Prismarch wherever. I'm going to place him here, pointed up. The reason I'm placing him here is because I want to place Lubu here, and then I want to be able to buff Lubu with Wings of Grace using Gone later in the battle, and it doesn't really matter where we put the Prismarch, so we can touch everything. This does ensure that his range and Pierre's range are very nicely overlaid, but they kind of do that regardless. So we've got in place, you can see the damage, 188k, 210k, 213. This guy always survives, 260. Pretty nice, pretty strong. We are stacking as we go overlay stacks. So what is an overlay stack? Let's go to the first passive now. You can see whenever the Prismarch attacks, he's going to increase his AoE damage, max HP, defense, and magic resistance by 2%. He can do this up to 14 times if you don't have Rosalia on your account. If you do have Rosalia, then it's actually 20 times. So over 20 hits, if you're at a 0, it actually takes less hits when you've got Awakenings. We'll go over the Awakenings after this fight. But over the first 20 hits, you can gain 20 stacks. Each one's worth 2%. So that results in the end of an increase of 40% AoE damage, 40% max HP, 40% defense, and 40% magic resistance. Also, every time any Prismite attacks or the Prismarch attacks, it's going to extend the Prismarch's duration. So that's something you'll see in this battle. The Prismarch never expires. It should expire after a certain amount of time, but because we're having so many things to consistently hit, it's a non-issue. Also because every time that Pierre ults, he's going to extend the life of the Prismarch by 15 seconds. That combined with the second part of the overlay passive, we are good to go. However, we're going to want to despawn him, and that's a weird quirk in the kit right now unless the devs fix it, and you're going to see why in just 1 second. So we go here. When we hit 6 costs, I'm going to place Diao Chan. Let's quickly flip her to black mode. But if I click on Diao Chan, you can see she is wearing Wings of Grace. I'm going to move myself down a little bit. I'm just going to make myself a little bit smaller. You know what? I'm going to go over here so I'm not in the way of anything. Boom. There you go, right in the middle of your screen. But she has Wings of Grace, so she's giving a 12% attack buff to herself and to Pierre. However, because the way it's coded, because we took a snapshot when we placed that Prismarch, the Prismarch is not getting the 12% attack, and we want the Prismarch to get that attack. So for that reason, when the moment is right, and I'll show you that moment, I will despawn the Prismarch. So we're getting the benefit of the inspiration and stuff, but we're not getting the benefit of the Wings of Grace. You can see, though, we're faring well. There's a kill. Barely, but we do win. We've won the first 2 rounds just by 1 hit. Not too significant, but it's worth showing off that we're competing with this crazy squad. Let me actually zoom out so you can see the whole team. It's like the classic Arbiter deployment strategy. As soon as I get to 13 costs, I'm going to place Dasami. Otherwise, Pierre would die on the next round just because the exploding guys get Dasami placed. Very, very good. And now you're going to see the first little quirky thing I'm going to do. We barely lose that round by like literally a millisecond. And now I'm keeping an eye on this bar right here for Pierre. Another thing we want to snapshot, right, is the Cataclysm boost. So Pierre's in a Cataclysm set, but when we deployed the Prismarch, we were not yet triggering the Cataclysm bonus. We are now, so we want to take the right moment where Pierre or the Prismarch gets a hit. Then in that couple second window, we want to despawn the Prismarch and then redeploy the Prismarch. So now we're going to get the Cataclysm damage boost, and we're going to get the attack increase boost from the Wings of Grace that Diao Chan's putting on Pierre, and the Prismarch is not yet getting. So some other big hits here. I'm keeping an eye on that ult bar. Remember, whenever Pierre ults, if a Prismarch is out, let's actually pause it really quickly here. If the Prismarch is out, it's going to extend his duration and then reduce the attack interval by 15% for 15 seconds. So the Prismarch's duration, the Prismarch's life is extended by 15 seconds. And then you get this nice attack interval drop. It's basically a speed up effect. But if there is no Prismarch, we're going to immediately prepare another Prismarch. So I want to time this out absolutely perfectly. So you can see the bar is very full. I can click on him. We're at 692 out of 800. Keeping an eye. Let's get one more hit. Boom. Now I'm going to despawn him. We're going to trigger that ult right now. We got the win. That was perfect timing. Now we prepare another one. Boom. And now I can place him right again. But now he has those boosts, right? So he has the Cataclysm damage boost from the set bonus. And now he has the Wings of Grace boost from Diao Chan's set, right? The plus 12% attack. So we're hitting nice and hard. And now we don't have to do it again. We've locked in those bonuses, but that is a weird quirk. And you want to make sure you're on top of that so you get as much damage as possible. Let's place Lubu now. And we're settling into the battle. You can see very close right now, 96.5% to probably about to be 96.5% or so. Unfortunate timing there. There is weird RNG on the hits. So now we're losing by 8% or so. Toss on 2x for a second. We're just settling in. The only final thing we have to do is place Gone. You can see Lubu's crazy reach there. There's 14. I'm going to place Gone here, pointed up. Gone was in the Wings of Grace. Boom. So now we're also giving that Wings of Grace to Lubu. So another 12% attack. And let's let this ride a little bit. Just got the win there. That should even it out a little bit. 1 or 2 hits, just 1. So we're losing by 2%. As soon as we hit 200%, I'm going to go with Lubu. Got a big ult. You can see Lubu has that like alternating effect where he can go super deep. Lubu just hit for 1.1 million. This Lubu buff is legit, but that's unfortunate timing. They nailed the Valara. We did not nail the Lubu, so we take a couple big hits there onto round 8. I got to say the fact that this is surviving to round 8, right? That our team is making it that far against the Arbiter God squad with only a 0 Pierre, I think that says something for sure. Throw it back on 2x. You can see, by the way, if you didn't know what the Prismites looked like, these are the Prismites right here. So if I pop this open, I should be able to show you. Yes, we have the 2 types of Prismites, the Prismite Malachite, that's the single target Prismite. And what you're seeing right now, these blue ones, these are the Prismite Cobalt. I can also explain the special effect right now. Whenever any Prismite is within the attack range of the Prismarch, which is all of the battle right here, because of how we deployed Pierre and the Prismarch close to each other, they're always ignoring 25% of all the target's magic resistance, and they're restoring health to the Prismarch. The health restoration to the Prismarch here, frankly, it's just like a heal. That doesn't matter because it doesn't reach. In other content, it absolutely matters, like in single target arena, which you'll see in a couple days. But the ignoring the magic resistance, basically shredding the magic defense, is very relevant. And now I think you've got a good handle visually on how it works with perspective, overlay. Those are the 2 respective passives. And of course, master stroke, the ultimate. So let's see if we can survive round 8 here. Looks pretty good. No Lubu ult, so that's going to slow us down. There we go. Nice hit, though. We did trigger the special effect. We're going to take 1 hit there. We're down by 34%, but we do have Lubu's ult coming up. Let's try to time this out. Okay, let's go. Let's see how we do now. We're getting an ult trigger right there from Pierre, so now we're getting 15 seconds of a reduced attack interval on the Prismarch. You can see our 2 little Prismites right there going, and this is where it slightly falls apart, and we are going to lose here to the God Squad, but we put up a great fight, making it to the very, very end of round 9, 38 out of 40 kills. But yeah, the big hits from Ingrid, the big hits from Valara, it's not yet 100% there to compete with it. However, we are not done. And I kind of planned this in a pretty fun way. That was against an A5 Valara, an A5 Praetus, an A5 Ingrid, right? But we're here with an A0 Pierre. What does it look like if we take this A0 Pierre, drop him out, and put in an A5 Pierre? So I want to try that right now. This is something I haven't done yet, but let's do a little switcheroo and put the really good Pierre gear on him. So there you go. These are the total stats. He is crit capped because of the Cultist collection bonus. Super fast, excellent attack, very good crit damage. Let's take the artifact here and let's put on the good version. There we go. Really, really nice rolls on that artifact. Now let's head into battle and let's see. They are defaulting to the A0 Pierre. Let's take him out and put in the A5 Pierre. Also a little tip for you guys, a little cool thing. He's got very high BP. He's a big BP contender. This is fairly optimized, but we left a little on the table. We're basically at 125K. This is going to be very relevant for a lot of GVGers out there when it comes to BP affiliation for your demon soldiers. So let's head into battle with our A5 Pierre. Before we do, though, I have to very quickly take you through these awakenings again. If you want a super deep dive on them, watch my video from yesterday, or maybe at this point 2 days ago. Let's just go through it super, super, super quick. The A1, we're going straight from A0 to A5, so we're getting all of these things. Now, the Prismarch, on top of the stacks of overlay he gets, when those overlay stacks are at 14 or higher, remember they can go up to 20 if you have Rosalia, but the Prismarch is also going to get the perspective effect once those stacks are at 14 or higher. So the perspective effect, just to remind you, is that ignored 25% of the magic resistance and the restored 2% of the Prismarch's max HP to the Prismarch. This is really good. He's dealing the most damage, and now he's ignoring 25% of the magic defense, essentially. And when he needs it, he can heal himself. This is going to be most relevant to healing himself in stuff like single target arena, other content. But here, that magic resistant shred is enormous. 200 more base attack is very, very nice. Just crank that all the way up. You can see his standard base attack is pretty dang high if this ever loads at 5,084. This brings it up to 5,384. The A3 now is incredibly good. He can summon an extra Prismite. So typically he can have 2 on the field at a time. Now it's 3. That's 50% more Prismites. That is amazing. Also, the Prismarch can gain stacks of overlay a lot more quickly. Instead of getting 1 stack per hit, the first 5 hits are giving 2 stacks per hit. So when we despawn him and redeploy him, he's going to get back up to max overlay stacks at 20 a lot quicker. We get another 8% magic resistant shred. Phenomenal. That's 8% penetration from A4. And then at A5, this is funky. In my original video, I said it didn't make any sense. That's because there is a mistake in how these descriptions are written. I've explained it in the top pinned comment of that other video. The key thing is this. The Prismites can now assist the Prismarch in his attack range. It does say that currently on the test server that this happens even at A0, but it doesn't. This is a special effect just at A5. But the key things are going to be the extra penetration, the extra attack, most importantly, the Prismarch gaining the perspective effect, and the whole extra Prismite. So let's head into battle and let's see. I am going to put down my microphone because I got to focus up. I hope you can hear me well. Hopefully we can edit it and make it good, but I got to dial in here. So let's see how we do. I'm pretty confident we can win this. It is going to start on 2x, so we got to just talk. Oh, no, it didn't that time. Well, we'll still restart just to be safe. So let's go here with Pierre, get in place. It's going to be a similar pattern, but we should be a bit stronger. There's our Prismarch. Let's get in place. Excellent. Start on 2x, and look at that. That time we hit it a whole extra hit earlier, so we get actually 2 hits. Instead of 98%, it's 96%, so that's a better lead. We're off to a good start. Let's flip Diao. We got 1 Prismite out. You can see Pierre's over here feverishly painting, creating portraits through which he can summon Prismites. If you don't know what that means, go watch the other video. There we go. Another bigger lead, right? We won the first 2 rounds last time, but we're winning a little bit better this time. Look at that. Down to 90% against this God Squad. The Shady Arbiter God Squad. Oop, did not mean to do that. Hit 13. Boom, let's get to Sami out there. And there you can see we've got 3 Prismites. Well, you actually can't see the 3rd one. Kind of poofed. Hopefully it comes in a second. Oh, you know what it is? They're just despawning. But we should be able to get a 3rd one out. There's 2. And there's 3. Now you can see 3. Kind of. It's kind of hard to see. All right, we're going to try to time this out perfectly. I don't know why it's still only the 2. There's 3. 1, 2, 3. You can see for a moment, you can see the 3, and we actually get that cheeky win. Right here, I'm going to despawn. Should still just have the Cataclysm up, I hope. Let's respawn. You can see a huge lead. All of a sudden, Shady's squad isn't getting any damage out on us yet. We've won every single round. I actually think I can pick up the mic and get a little more comfortable. This A5 Pierre is no joke. He's going to be a meta shifter in multiple pieces of content, I believe. We do lose our first round there, but only by 1 hit. That's going to knock 6% off. I'll also show you the final damage here. I think it's going to be pretty impressive. As soon as we get to 14, let's get the Wings of Grace out on Lubu. Hopefully we can take this round. Yes, we can. Good hit from Lubu there. They nearly had it. That was kind of lucky. Big lead, though. Let's see how we can do. As soon as we get to 200, let's trigger Lubu. If we can just win this round 7, I think we're in really good shape. This is always a tricky round. Prismite's getting to work. 373,000 damage from just 1 Prismite on that AoE. We do lose, but hopefully barely. Come on, Lubu. Nice. Okay. We've got 11.5% lead. It's going to be very sweaty. It's going to be very close. I hope we can get it. We're not going to have Lubu for this round, so we need some big performances out of Pierre and his summons. We just got it. That is huge. This is going to be another hit against Shady. All right, so as long as we don't fall apart like we have done previously in round 9, which I'm not ruling out. I mean, round 9 is such an overflow of enemies, and Valara and Ingrid are so cracked at this. But we'll see. Let's trigger Lubu. Prismites are getting to work. Pierre's health's a little too high. And we get cooked. Unfortunate. But just barely. I'm sure we could fine-tune this a little bit. We're going to leave it in there. I think I could refine this a bit more. The potential is undeniable. I don't know if Dasami's the right unit. We kind of got screwed there with his health getting a little too high. But all in all, excellent performance. I forgot to show the stats. I'm so sorry. It's a ton of damage. All right, take my word for it. You know what? I'll run it quickly one more time. Maybe I can sneak out a cheeky win. We'll just do super fast forward mode, and then I'll show you the damage at the end. All right, we're actually going to pick it up here. I'm choosing to despawn him one round later, because I'm worried the Cataclysm buff didn't hit last time. So we'll pick it up right here. We're about halfway done with the battle. Just keep an eye on this, because we actually won whatever that round was when I did the despawn. We won it a little bit too quickly. So there was, I think, too much downtime, and I don't think we actually had the Cataclysm live. I could be wrong, but I think it's worth the change up. We've got a nice little lead here. Let's see, 1 hit, boom, let's pick him up. He prepares him. Excellent. Let's get ready with Gone. And now remember, his first 5 hits after being deployed, this Prismarch, because it's a new one, those are going to give 10 stacks. So he'll get back to overlay max out pretty quickly. We snagged that win, and actually, I think I might have been right, because we looked a lot stronger there. Big lead now, very big lead, 42%. Let's go in with Lubu for round 7. So far, it looks good. I would love to pull this off. Regardless, I promise I'm actually going to remember to show you the total stats. That's just too hard. When Valara's hitting like that, perfectly timed, we always are falling behind. Huge hits. Now we only have a 10% lead. Brutal stuff. We did win round 8 last time, but remember, we got completely cooked on round 9. Maybe what I do is I should go more aggressive on round 8, and maybe that's where you use the double Lubu ult, or maybe just save the whole thing for 9. I'm not sure. Or maybe we bring Ardia. I think there's a lot of tinkering that can be done. But when you look at the final damage, undeniably, the performance of Pierre is awesome. All right, let's see. Try to hold off from this round. Okay, go with Lubu now. Yeah, now you can see the Valara Lightning's insane. We're cooked. They're going to win right here. They just have that little lead, and we're done. Close one again, unfortunately. The Lubu big hits are a little unpredictable. Only lose by 30%. pretty similar result, but I think it's close. I think it can be dialed in. Hopefully I figure it out. Otherwise, someone will figure it out. I think this has so much potential, this new comp. Maybe Dasami's just not the move. Look at that damage. Top DPS out of everyone, 137.5 million. What more do you need? Pierre is freaking awesome. Rosalia might even be cooler. Go watch my Rosalia video as well. I'm gonna have a video of them together. Taking on the Bulwark Matrix. I've got single target with Pierre coming. I might even do an arena showcase with Rosalia. I'm very excited about these units. I hope they make it so every player has a real chance to get them, because these guys are so cool, they're so well designed, and they're so overpowered. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Fastidious. If you like my stuff, please do subscribe to the channel. Thank you to Chady for setting up this defense. Share with your mother, guys, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.